Hello and welcome to a video on my bottom drains on the main pond. So why am I doing this video? So on all my other tanks I can purge at least 1,000 litres of water, I'd say, from each one of them, and quite fast. And doing that, it clears out the pipe work and just makes it, you know, nice and clean, and just gets out any muck that settles in there, because muck does settle in your bottom drains. However, with my main pond, I didn't sort of plumb it up like that. I just made it so that the absolute lowest point is where the purge comes out. So I've got the advantage of having a basement next to the body of water, so the lowest point is this, which is good. You do get, so all the heavy muck obviously comes along the bottom drain and just falls into this bit here. So I do need to do it fairly often because of that, and then the rest, you know, everything else goes up to the drum filter. But I don't obviously get that where I can get momentum on the water to suck any muck along the pipe, which I really want to do. So in this video I'm going to be putting a pipe on the end of this tap here and probably running it either that way or this way, and running it down here into this hole, which is where most of the muck goes anyway. And then this gets pumped down the drains. The reason I'm doing that rather than getting it straight down the drain, because that actually there is an unused drain line from my old system when I had a bead filter. So I could just plumb it straight up to that, but I'm not using it because I want to get as much water flow as possible. So if I keep it as low as possible and go into that, it will come out incredibly fast, whereas if I put it into that, it will come out at a good speed, but not as fast as it could do potentially. So unfortunately there are some advantages to me doing it into a bucket. I'll show you this. So actually I'll talk about this as well. I'm using this to do it on here because normally they have the blue taps like those ones do there, but because the amount of pressure behind this and sort of where it is, and also because the adjuster's at the wrong side of the ball valve, it's a little bit of a tight thing to turn on and off, and you end up breaking those blue plastic things. So I put this on it and it turns it on and off nicely, and also means that it's just a little bit, you know, I'm not going to break it. Because I don't want to break this, because then it's the lowest point in my pond, it's going to drain my pond. So what I usually do is open that up like that. You can see the first bit of water is quite brown, and then after that it's okay. Just get a little nip to stop that drip. So yeah, as you can see, it's quite brown, and then what I'll do is I'll come round here and chuck it in the well anyway. So the one thing I will actually miss is, what I always do is put on top of this thing here, is the teeth. So these are the teeth from the fish. So in the bottom of that bucket you always get loads of little teeth, and I will definitely miss that. But I might be able to pick them out at the bottom of that if I sort it out. So let's get on with that. So I finally decided what I'm going to do. It took me a while to actually get my head around what I want to do and how I want to do this. So I've got some rubber boots, and they're going to go underneath here, because these are, well, this one is on a bit of an angle anyway, so I'm going to use flexible pipes. So I'm going to hopefully get that to sit just there like that, and then have a flexible 2-inch pipe come up into that, and then I think I'm going to take it that way down there underneath these bags of salt and crates, underneath that dehumidifier, and then it can sort of sit here, and at some point, probably not today, I'll take it under the floor and into the well. So I'm going to use this 2-inch pipe here, and I've already tried it, as you can see, with that thing on it. So use that 2-inch pipe, and I'll show you how I'm going to install it. So let's crack on with it. So there we go, I made up them 2 joints. I haven't welded them or anything, I'm just sort of putting them in place so I can see how it's all going to fit. Got that one there. So you might be wondering how I'm using a rubber pipe into a solvent weld fitting. Well, you'll have to see later on in the video. You'll find out how I connect them two together. So across here, now I've got this to the wall, I'm just going to run a normal 2-inch high pressure pipe from that one to that one, and then I might try pre-running the 2-inch line round here just so I can see where it's going to fit, and if not, obviously I could take it round that way, but I've obviously got to move a lot of stuff and then into the hole. So I'm going to get on with seeing where I'm going to fit the rest of my pipe work. So here we go, I want to be installing this piece of pipe onto this outlet for the bottom drain, and I'm going to do that by solvent welding it. So this actual pipe is a high pressure pipe. It is really good stuff, a lot better than that corrugated sort of braided stuff. This is a bit thicker, and I've never had any trouble with it bursting or out like that. It puts up with cold weather perfectly fine, and high pressure perfectly fine. One of the advantages of this pipe as well is that it can be welded just like you would weld a normal PVC pipe, and also with the rubber boots you can tighten your rubber boots straight onto it like that. However, if you are tightening rubber boots straight onto it and using it in a pressure situation like after a pump or something like that, I would recommend putting the plastic sleeve on it and then tightening the rubber boot to the plastic sleeve like so. Just a little bit better fit like that. Sometimes if you over tighten it, you can crush this pipe and cause a little bit of a leak to come through. But in this situation, I'm just going to be, it's not going to have water in it permanently, it's just the drain line, so I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to be putting it straight on like that, and it'll be fine. So, how am I going to fit it to this? So this is actually sort of classed as low pressure 2-inch size, and this is high pressure 2-inch size, so a loose fit, it wouldn't solvent weld straight into that. So I need to put the little gasket thing on it and then go straight into that like so. So when you're actually welding this stuff, what you've got to do is when you cut it, you can see there's little bits all the way around it. You need to make sure they're off, because they will get stuck and will stop you pushing that on properly. So like with this side, I've took all them off, and I've just gone around it with a Stanley knife a little bit, just to put a little bit of a chamfer on it, so it's got an edge on it like that, so that it just slots in a little bit easier. So there we go, a little bit of a jump, as you can see. I've put in a little pipe there, and then these two are welded in fully, so I actually managed to get it welded in. I did actually record myself welding it together, but I'll not lie, I ended up wearing most of it and making a right mess of it, and most of the video was just swearing, so I decided to edit that bit out. So here we are with that already being welded in and that attached to that, and I've actually done a good job in the end, but at the time it wasn't very fun. But that's just one of the side effects I get. For some reason I am incapable of doing welding when I'm recording it, so I think that'll be the last time I ever attempt to record myself doing any solvent welding. But the proof is there, you can weld the rubber pipes into a solvent weld joint, and we'll see in a bit whether it leaks or not. So I've got that running that way down this plastic pipe, runs under there underneath the salt, comes out of here, and then just sort of coils around in here for a minute, and I will be sorting that out slightly later. Now you'll be wondering why there's a T on there. What I'm going to do is put one of these non-return valves on. I don't know whether to just put it straight on or lift it up like that, but the reason I'm doing that is because when you purge this really quickly, it'll gain a lot of momentum straight out, and then if you turn it off really quickly, which I will do, it'll probably start to damage these rubber joints by, sucking them, squeezing them. It might even break this solvent weld. So I'm hoping that, what will happen is this will let air in, so when you stop the thing, air will suck in down there and relieve the pressure off the system, not bursting any joints. So I'm just going to put that on now and hopefully sort this bit out and give it a try. Right then, I've put that into that hole there and set that up. So let's see if it works, see if I remember to tighten up all the joints, or probably see which joints I haven't tightened up. So what I'm going to do is open that like that and quickly run it over, see what comes out. Hey! Yeah, not insanely fast, but good speed. Not quite as violent as I expected it to be, I must admit. But then it is a long bit of pipe work, I guess. That works. There we go. I can also sort of tell when it's on and off. So, yeah, it worked quite nicely. Let's purge the other one. Try the other one. It doesn't appear to have leaked. Anyone would think I knew what I was doing. Okay, that one comes out a bit more forceful. I think it's probably because it might be sucking in some air, that, I bet. Let's have a look. No, just seems to be more forceful. Oh, crikey. Oh, I've got my valve thing on. There we go. There we go, both fully purged. So it does work. Set my pump off running, you can see it pumping down drain there. Yeah, not too bad. Not too mucky. I expected it to be a little bit more powerful than that, I must admit. But let's get it set up, finished, and see how we look. So I've ended up cutting it, putting a rubber joint on it where it comes down here. So it comes down this corner neatly. Obviously that'll be covered up by the pallet. And then it comes down, goes underneath the floor, quite nice, and then coils around in there. Don't know whether I'm going to eventually cut that off. Probably going to cut that off at some point because I want that piece of pipe for something, I'm sure. But for now it's going to make a nice little waterfall sort of thing come out of there, and should be good. Now these are on pallets, by the way, because this area always gets wet. So I put everything on pallets that I don't want to get wet. And then water sort of flows down there and into that hole. So let's fill it up. Let's try it, let's see how we get on. Yeah. There we go. Works nicely. That'll definitely let me purge the bottom drains a lot better. Yeah, I'll turn it off before I drain my pond. And now, there we go. Perfect. I do think that was a good idea. I would have liked to have seen what it did without that on, but I'm pretty sure when you close them quickly, it probably crush these rubber boots. And because this is hose, it might even crush that and break this weld. Whereas, obviously, when you turn that off now, it just sucks air down there. So works perfectly. Just mess that up a little bit, and the pumps come on. See, that's going down the to the drain. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Not too bad at all. Just need to put some up there now to raise my dehumidifier a bit higher, and it can go straight back there. No problem. So there we go. Shot of my basement, all finished. You can just see the pipe as it goes up there, and then it comes out underneath these pallets, and then obviously around that bit. So you just have to careful not to tread on it just there, but I don't go down there very often anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. I think it'll work a lot better than purging it into a bucket. So there we go. If you like this video, then please like it. If you want to see more videos like this, then please feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, then please put them down below, and I shall see you in the next video. Also, that's missing, by the way. Next video.